Good morning, children, and welcome to the class of English. Children, today I, Pankaj Singh Thapa, am again in front of you with a new topic that is visible on your screen, that is active and passive voice. Children, keeping in mind the further competitive examinations, it's a very important topic, and in majority of the exams, it is asked, and as it is in your English syllabus, although it has got deleted this year, but as this topic is very important, and although it has been deleted, but we cannot deny its use in further examinations and all competitive examinations. So I'm discussing it here for your benefit. So let's begin this class. But before we study active and passive voice, let's study something which is related to active and passive voice. And without understanding that thing, the knowledge of active and passive voice is incomplete. Children, that is, we are going to study some kinds of verbs, that is, transitive and intransitive verbs. Now, children, these may be the new terms for you, transitive and intransitive verbs. So, let's study the difference between these two. Children, a verb can be described as transitive or intransitive based on whether it requires an object to express a complete thought or not. A transitive verb is one that only makes sense if it exerts its action on an object. An intransitive verb will make sense without one, but some verbs may be used both ways. Children, let's study this again. A verb can be described transitive based on whether it requires an object. Alright, if we break a sentence into grammatical forms, so suppose a sentence is Ram plays football, a very simple sentence. Now, in this, which grammatical form is Ram? Yeah, clear. Ram is subject and plays football, predicate. Now, each word we will break. Alright, so Ram is subject, so it is a noun. Plays, it's a verb. And football, it's again noun, but it is supplementing the subject, so it is object. Children, mind it, subject comes in the beginning and object comes at the last. Objects supplements or complements the subject. Alright, so the thing is that a transitive verb is one that only makes sense if it exerts its action on an object. So we will say that verb is transitive if action passes from subject to object. So in the case of Ram plays football, the action has passed from Ram to football. Alright. Now the same sentence, if I speak like this, Ram plays, then this verb play will become an intransitive verb because action was initiated by Ram, but it was not passed. It remained with Ram. So now play will become intransitive. Right. So as it is written here, an intransitive verb will make sense without one, means without object. The intransitive verb will do. And some verbs we use both the ways. So I think it is the best example. Ram plays football. So play has been used as transitive verb and play has also been used as intransitive verb. Now the thing is how to identify a transitive verb. Alright. So transitive verbs are not just verbs that can take an object. They demand objects. And without an object to effort, the sentence that the transitive verb inhabits will not seem complete. Alright, you can see this example. Please bring coffee. Now, in this sentence, the verb bring is transitive. Its object is coffee, the thing that is being brought. And without an object of some kind, this verb cannot function. Now, if you'll just write please bring, definitely it's giving no meaning. Now, my earlier example, Ram plays. See, if I translate it into Hindi, Ram plays. Hindi, Ram khelta hai. Ram plays football. Ram football khelta hai. I think both the sentences are working. हिंदी में से वाक्य कहते हैं, राम खेलता है, राम फुटबॉल खेलता है, दोनों ही एक वाक्य हैं. So the play is acting as both transitive and intransitive kind of verb. But now when you look at the example over here, please bring coffee. If I remove coffee from here, please bring, please lao, I think it's meaningless. It will turn out to be a phrase, even not a clause. Alright, so it is purely a transitive verb. Please bring, it is written here. Bring what? Bring who? So when we ask this question, bring what? So definitely the answer comes coffee. The question begs itself because the meaning of bring demands it. Alright, it's purely a transitive verb. An intransitive verb is the opposite of a transitive verb. It does not require an object to act upon. Alright, there is no need of an object. They jumped. The dog ran. She sang. A light was shining. I think these sentences are complete by themselves. Alright, there is no need for an object. They give the meaning themselves. So these are examples of the intransitive verb. Here are some more examples of transitive verbs with their objects. The girls carry water to their village. Zivan threw the ball. Could you phone the neighbors? I caught a cold. She loves rainbows. Leela conveyed the message. So these are the transitive verbs. So I think children, by now the difference between transitive verb and intransitive verb is clear to you. I think there is no confusion. And why I am discussing these things? Because this knowledge will be used when you are working upon the active and passive sentences. Now, what's the difference between active and passive voice? Directly, children, I have put this question. What is active and what is passive? Children, if you go by the word meaning, active means in real life. In class, some children are very active. They jump, they roam here and about, they puzzle other person, they disturb the other one, they disturb the teacher. It means they are very active. And some sit silently, so they are passive. Alright, so I think by the word and meaning, I think the difference between active and passive is clear. And the same meaning is, children, used in this grammatical exercise. So, when the subject of a sentence performs a verb's action, we say that the sentence is in the active voice. Sentences in the active voice have a strong, direct and clear tone. Here are some short and straightforward examples of active voice. Like monkeys adore bananas. The cashier counted the money. The dog chased the squirrel. And my obsolete example, exactly I will not say obsolete, but my simple example, Ram plays football. Here, what is important for us? Who is given preference? That is Ram. We are more concerned about Ram. Now, if I speak it like this, football is played by Ram. It means what is important? The work being done is important. Ram is now not so important. So Ram plays football is an active and football is played by Ram is in passive. Alright, see, my way is not to make changes. I just wanted to give an example, changes we will do later on. So these sentences, the monkeys adored bananas. Who is important? Monkey. The cashier counted the money. Who is important? Cashier. The dog chased the squirrel. Who is important? The dog. So active voices are when the subject is important, and the passive voices, a sentence is the passive voice on the other hand when the subject is acted on by the verb. The passive voice is always constructed with a conjugated form of to be plus the verb's past participle. Doing this usually generates a preposition as well. That sounds much more complicated, and the preposition is by. And then it is passive. And passive voice is actually quite easy to detect. For the examples of passive voice, we will transform the three active sentences about to illustrate the difference. See, bananas are adored by monkeys. The previous example, monkeys adore bananas. So, bananas are adored by monkeys. See, for the verb, we use a past participle form of the verb. Again, the money was counted by the cashier. Same example. Here, counting of money is important. Here, first sentence, adoring of bananas is important. The squirrel was chased by the dog. Here, chase is important, not the dog, the cashier, the monkeys. So, these are the examples of passive voice. Now, children, when to use active and passive voice? Using the active voice conveys a strong, clear tone, and the passive voice is subtler and weak. Subtler means complicated. So, children, suggestion is that it's a good advice that don't use passive voice just because you think it's sound a bit fancier, right? Sometimes when you use passive voice you feel that it's a fancier, but generally we commit grammatical mistakes while using the passive voice. So avoid using passive voice. It's not the way that I'm saying don't use passive voice, use, but maximum cases use active voice. Now some examples, exercises and some rules for the conversion of active and passive voice. So now we will first discuss the present simple or simple present tense and how we will convert the sentence of simple present tense into passive voice. So here, children, first of all we have to study the grammatical rule. So active voice subject sentence would be in active voice, alright, subject plus first from the verb plus s or es plus object. Like example was Ram plays football. Alright, see, try to match. Ram plays football. Ram is subject, play is the first from the verb, s is there, plays, and object is football. Now conversion, that is in passive voice. First will be object. So what will be object? Football. Now is mr. So out of 3 we have to use whichever is suitable. So what will be suitable? Is. Now v3. V3 means third form of the verb. Children, kindly notice that in passive voice everywhere third form of the verb is used. So football is will be suitable, play, played, played. So past participle is, that is third form of the verb also known as past participle. So v3, the third form of the verb is played. So football is played. Then a preposition by plus subject. And what is the subject? Ram. I think it's clear now. Now similarly, subject plus do does plus not plus verb 1 plus object. Then conversion again is object, subject will be taken over by the object, then Do does will convert to is mr, alright, plus not, that it is negative sentence, so not is there, then third form of the verb plus subject. Okay, now does plus subject plus verb 1 plus object. So again, children, mind it that do does convert to is mr. So is mr plus object plus third form of the verb by and subject, plus if anything complementary is there. Let's discuss the examples, it will be clear. See, he reads a novel. A novel is read. Why we have not used here by? Because he reads a novel. So instead we could have written a novel is read by him, but it is not necessary because novel is for reading only. So novel is read. See, second example, he does not cook food. Use of does. Alright. So does is converted into ismr. So food is not cooked by him. Alright. Food has become subject and he becomes object. And when he is moved from subject to object, it is changed accordingly. Means he will become him. Now it's an interrogative sentence. Does he purchase books? So do does, again I'm saying they get converted to is mr, whichever the case is, negative interrogative type sentences. So does he purchase books? So when books will come to subject, the books means plural. Are you getting my point? So books are plural. Does he purchase books? So what we will use out of is mr? So is will not be there because is for singular. So what we will use? Are books, because books are plural. And then third form of the verb purchased. Then he will go to object, it will become him. And then by. They grow plants. So it will now become plants are grown by them. She teaches me. I am taught by her. See, me, when it will come to subject, it will be converted into I. Alright. And then we will have to introduce am also. I taught by her. If you write like this, I think it's useless. So definitely, you will have to introduce a word from your own side also. Now children, our next tense type is present continuous tense. Let's discuss the rules and examples. So there is introduction of children the word being, B-E-I-N-G, to convey the continuous form. So in every passive conversion for continuous tense, whether present continuous or past continuous, we use the word being. Now let's do the rule. Subject plus is mr plus first form of the verb plus ing. Definitely in a continuous tense, the first form of the verb is used plus ing. So Ram is playing football. Correct? Now how will you convert? Ram is playing football. It will convert to first subject, object, subject. So football will come first. Football. Okay. Now football is singular here. Now, so what will we say? Football am won't be. Football are won't be. So football is. Then being will be there. Football is being. Third form of the verb is play, played, played. So football is being played. Then by, and the subject will be Ram. Similarly, if it is like this, subject plus is mr plus not plus verb first form plus ing plus object. Similarly, is mr and is mr will remain same. Not will be introduced. Being will be introduced. My dear children, being is there. The third form of the verb I am saying, it will be there in every form. Then by, then subject. Similarly, Is MR plus subject plus verb first form plus ing plus object. So is MR plus object plus third form of the verb plus by plus subject. Let's read the examples. Now, example is Isha is singing a song. So passive will be a song is being sung by Isha. Next, Kritika is not chopping vegetables. So vegetables are not being chopped by Kritika. Then is Ritika buying a table? So is a table being bought by Ritika? They are serving poor people. So poor people are being served by them. She is disturbing Dinesh. So Dinesh is being disturbed by her. These are the examples of present continuous. Children, that's all for today in this part of the video. In the next part of the video for active and passive voice, we will start with present perfect tense. So till then, goodbye and thank you.